Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be covering these different things in yellow. We were actually able to jump into a private match over on Twitch. Thank you guys for jumping in if you were able to jump in and help out with that. And we were able to look at these individual things. In the previous video where I kind of took a look at certain attachments, that's kind of what we looked at, the stuff that was already in green. And I'm going to continue adding onto this list. And this is typically where I'm going to do a video covering multiple bullet points that you guys ask about that I wouldn't necessarily make a full video about, but they're still worth taking a look at so it can be cleared up for the community. If you enjoyed the video, learned something new, please do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're brand new, looking to find your way back for more Call of Duty content, double check to make sure you have that red subscribe button clicked and turned to gray with notifications on. So as I said, this is from my live stream over on Twitch. The first thing we're going to look at is Akimbo aim assist. There was people under the misconception that if you put the weapons in Akimbo, you lose all aim assist because the Hipfire aim assist is so weak. But obviously within this game, we do have Hipfire aim assist, and we have two different types. We have the rotational, where if you strafe, it'll kind of drag your crosshairs slightly, slowing them down. And then the ADS swipe across. So if you're using your right analog to swipe across a target, it will slow down. And it's very weak, the aim assist, but it is 100% there. So we'll go ahead and look at this one for the Akimbo. So you'll see it right here. So I walk up and you're going to see the motion of the camera. You can see it's pretty consistent. And as soon as I start spinning around, you're going to see it go fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow. And that's kind of proving that that part of aim assist works. So what we'll do is go on to the next part, which is this flinch resistance, because people wanted to test how much the flinch resistance was actually helping. And to my surprise, it actually works the opposite of what it says in the description, which we'll go over. But pretty much we had it lined up. I lined up the shot. I would just wait. I hit them. They would hit me with the same weapon in the same spot, guaranteed headshot. We could see the damage profile as I got shot. And when that would happen, you could see I got hit with the DMR. And then we could see how much flinch was happening as this was all going on. Obviously, I'm accelerated because the testing is already pretty clear. So pretty much what you're looking at here is that same setup that we just saw. I'm using the based FFAR. And you can see what I did is I drew a line through the character's diamond, the red diamond that we have on screen. I overlaid the images, and then I showed the distance between those. Frame by frame, I measured them up perfectly so they're all aligned. We have the base FFAR, the drop shot wrap, which is supposed to help with drop shotting, which doesn't matter in this game, and flinch resistance. And then the airborne elastic, which helps with flinch resistance, drop shotting, and ADS speed. But when we come over here, I end up drawing the line at the two areas, and the distance for me when I measure the actual pixels is 23 pixels. So if a number was going to help it, the number would be smaller and you'd have less flinch. So that 23 pixels doesn't matter. It depends on what images you're recording off of, but we use that as an arbitrary number. And when we compare that to the drop shot wrap, it should have been a lower number, like I said, but it ended up being 32 pixels, which gives us an increase. If you look closely, it doesn't really matter the number, but you can actually see the distance between those lines is actually further apart, and almost 50% more flinch in that particular case. When we get with the airborne elastic, it could have been 1 pixel off, but this one ended up being 33 pixels. Could have been 32. Close enough. So that ends up being like a 50% increase. You can see kind of where those lined up, and that's pretty much where that goes. So I would avoid using that one. So I think the serpent ramp, at least on the rifle, so I got to go back through, set all this up again, because the attachments don't seem to be universal. We're going to see if they work for snipers. We're going to see if they work for tactical rifles, see if they work for LMGs, which more than likely they will, because usually LMGs kind of fall in line with rifles. And then we got to do SMGs to see if those are actually helping out with any kind of flinch resistance. But at the end of the day, they primarily should be helpful with weapons like the DMR, which is disgusting, and like the Pellington or the Tundra when you're ADSing and you're hard scoping pretty much how much flinch you get. So we'll have to take a look at that. But this basically tells us the attachments are doing the opposite of what they say. Even though you are getting a little bit faster aim down sight, you aren't getting the flinch resistance. And this seems to be the case with a lot of attachments. Wider hipfire when it should be tighter, and vice versa. Better bullet velocity when it should be worse. Worse bullet velocity when it should be better. So you kind of got to play it by ear. And even things that I might say, if they're not 100% tested, we kind of got to play it by ear until they actually get tested. And keep in mind that there's a lot of work involved, but it's coming along. So there's that one. Let's go ahead and move on to the next test. So next test we'll take a look at is aim assist through walls. And I already kind of had an idea how this would work. What happens is if you have a half wall, as long as your character is visible, you will get aim assist. Even if you're dragging through the wall, it's just kind of how the bubble works. As long as the character's visible, you will get some kind of aim assist. So that's what we'll look at here. So what's going to happen is I'm going to drag my crosshairs across, and I'm going to get aim assist. You can see how it slows down pretty heavily because of how dude's got to get out of the way. This is a problem with testing in a private match. Even though you got people trying to help you out, it's not always ideal. Maybe they're trying to get in there for a screenshot. You can see how there's still aim assist with that. And then I'm going to go ahead and have them crouch. And then once they crouch, you're going to see that I don't get that same aim assist. It doesn't slow down. We're not getting it. So just that difference of crouching behind the wall hid the aim assist, so it didn't work properly. Now we'll go ahead and check it through a thin wall. He comes through. I'm going to go ahead and ping him. These walls are known where you could ping people through the wall. And you can see I'm not getting any kind of slowdown. Whether I use the gun or Hipfire, it's just very slow, but that's just kind of how it is. Because, you know, obviously you got to try and hit your shot. So I ping him again. You can see I'm right there, not getting any kind of slowdown. The next up is people think that if you put your FOV above 107, you lose all aim assist. Somehow you just lose aim assist, so you don't do it. And that's a myth somebody started a while ago. I don't know if it's something that changed because, you know, the aim assist options are different. But you can see I'm going to go in. I've tested this one before when I did my field of view video. I go ahead and bump it up. I'm playing at 100 now just because if I put it any higher, it's hard for me to see targets. But I'm 32, so I'm older than these 20-year-olds, right? Or 17-year-olds. So now let's go ahead and attack some of these other things on the yellow that we tested. So since we've covered those, we're going to go ahead and turn those green. We have 3 yellow to go through: stopping power on Cold War guns, Diamatti barrel, and the MAC-10 barrels. When I tested some of the barrels on other weapon types, they didn't necessarily do what they were supposed to. And that's led to a lot of confusion because people carry like, hey, that's the same name. It must work for all attachments, but it doesn't necessarily work this way. So right here we have the MAC-10. We have foot, torso, head. These are the damage values, and they drop off 0 to 15 meters, 15 to 22, 22 to 30, and then 30 plus. We had an extra damage value in there. We have the Diamattis, 45, drops off to 33, and everything in for infinite. I went 55 plus meters. It doesn't have another drop off, which is kind of odd. And then we have the headshot damage. So even at range, 3 bullets is going to do 152 or 156 if you manage to hit every bullet to the head. And it has a damage drop off of 10 meters. When you use these individual barrels, this is not accounting for bullet velocity, which I'm going to have to do more testing on. But in general, I wanted to make sure that these task force barrel was covered because I was in a lot of people's streams and people were asking, hey, well, which one's the best? Which one's the best? Which one's the best? Well, now we know. As far as range goes, you're getting the maximum range from the task force. The rifle, the ranger, and the reinforced doesn't look like they're actually helping out much, because that distance is the same. You're going to get 50% increase with that. So keep in mind that it can affect other parts, but it does not do more damage. No matter where you hit, it's not doing more damage, but you are getting better range out of this thing, up to additional 50%. And that'll stack for the rest of these as well. So from 22, extra 15, it'll bump it up to 33, 30, bumps it up extra 15 to 45, so 45 plus. And this thing can absolutely dominate. That's why it's so good compared to the MP5, because the MP5 is like 10 meters, 15 meters, 20 meters, and then it has but this is way better with that barrel on. So I would say that that is the best barrel because it gives you that close to medium range and allows you to transition to the DMR, especially in the current broken meta. For the agency, right around 15%, which falls in line with the monolithic suppressor. So when you're combining these, you end up pushing that damage range up to about 26 meters if you have the agency and the task force. I know some people aren't running a suppressor just because in your close range options, sometimes people just omit it because maybe they put it for another attachment that they find more valuable. For the Diamatti, we saw the same thing, that 10 meters was pushed up to 15. You can do that same combination here. And you'll end up with damage value up to 17 meters instead of 10 when you're combining both of those individual attachments. Stopping power for the Mac, it had 40%, which is an 82% increase. That's how much it does with a leg shot with stopping power. 34 to the chest, which is kind of weird. It actually does less value than this one, but Still more value, 36% more, and then it did 68% or 68 damage to the head. So that's what kind of stopping power is doing here. If you landed only headshots with the Mac 10, it would be 4 shots to kill with stopping power, which is just broken. And then Diamatti's, it's 84 to the foot and 90 to the head. So basically, if you got Diamatti stopping power, even a single, a good little 3-round burst is gonna do some damage. But yeah, we were able to test that out. We obviously got more we want to test. If you do have other things you'd like me to test, but obviously I probably wouldn't put them in a full-length video talking about one little thing, let me know down in the comment section. I do appreciate all the support on the content, the channel, where you guys are able to support over on Twitch, in the comment section, over on Twitter. You guys go ham on supporting the channel. I do appreciate all the support you guys do give. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to find your way back, just make sure you subscribe. Appreciate all the support. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.